And it is a world between fandoms. Doo-doo-doo. That's it. You're gonna play it? I can't hear it.
Nah, doesn't
Yeah,
sound that good.
yeah, you're gonna plug that.
Yeah.
All right, so we got episode, what was it? Episode 7 or episode 6 now? Of
Episode 7.
episode 7. What we got? Like two more to
Yeah.
go, I think.
No, wait. This was 6. We have 2 more.
6. Okay.
Oh, 3 more. 3 more.
There's 9. So The Last of Us. I told you, I tweeted it out. I think it's my favorite episode so
Me
far.
too. Me
From beginning to end. We start, and I don't know how we're gonna talk about it. It just starts very fun, very entertaining.
Those first 16 minutes of the story were new.
Okay, so
not in the book.
I guess
the
Native
couple.
American couple there. He comes back with the 2 rabbits that he hunted. You got him there. Oh, there's Ellie. I love them. I love everything that they did. I love their tone. Yes, I made him soup. Why? Because it's cold. He didn't shoot me. I got eyes. Did you tell him the truth? Are you telling me the truth? Yeah. I just love them. Their demeanor was great.
It was awesome. I totally agree. I was laughing and Joel trying to play it cool and Ellie's like, can I come down now?
Like, no, say we just go throughout the whole show. She doesn't, not that she doesn't respect him, but she's not gonna just stay back because he said so.
And Ellie's stealing the rabbits when they leave. Like
she's
for no reason.
One. Yeah. It's like, just leave it. He can hunt. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
And also when she says, oh, just teach me to hunt then, and he's like, you'll be fine with the hunting, it's just that cleaning up part. When he comes back at the end when he's showing her how to use the rifle, which is not that good, but it comes back. But that scene with the dog, once they reach the river, come on, I know she's not gonna die there. We're like, what nervous. The hell's gonna? I was pretty nervous. Did something from the game? I should start because we always start. How close was this to the game? Was it?
Okay. So it's funny because it was very close. It was basically same things happened, but the setting was different, and the setting was different because we never go to Jackson in the game. We go to Jackson in the second game, but in the first one we see it in the distance. They talk about it. They're like, oh yes, you can come, and they're like, no, we gotta go. So that was, in that sense, it was different, but basically the same points happened. The show gives you a little bit more context to everything. And
sure.
For example, in the game, when Tommy and Joel talk, he's like, you have to take her because this is not what he says, but it's basically a sentiment. I'm the older brother and you have to do what I say. There's not this whole thing of he does because that conversation with Ellie is basically the same as in the game, but he doesn't open up to Tommy in the same way he does here. And so that was, I like that they did that here. Another key change that has me like going crazy is in the game, Tommy and Maria never have a son or baby.
Okay.
And that throws me off thinking of how the second game plays out, because as I've mentioned, Tommy is very important in the game. I'm like, how is everything gonna happen with this thing here? So we'll see. All
right, we'll go. Let me say before we keep going, Roberto has to leave. Thanks for joining us, Roberto. We are all the way from Britain. Dr. Matt Studio, thanks for joining us. Hopefully things are doing great over there. He's saying he's caught up with the Bad Batch. We talked about the Bad Batch a little bit earlier. We're kind of finished our Star Wars talk, talking a little bit about The Last of Us now. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Matt Studio. So I'll say that scene that you said that's not in the game was my favorite scene in this whole episode. That talk between Joel and Tommy, both of them. The first one that they have in this little diner, actually in the bar, when he's trying to tell him why he needs help, and Tommy's like, I'm gonna have a kid, I can't deal with it. But at the end, yeah. But the ending when he's trying to fix his shoes, and because Joel, you can say, is the epitome of toxic masculinity, right? He's the alpha. He's the hunter. He kills people. He does. So for people out there that likes this persona, he's their go-to. To now be so vulnerable with your own family, because you can be vulnerable with strangers. They don't know your baggage. To be that open with your brother to say, I'm not the person I was before. I came here to save you when actually I need your help. I almost got killed twice. She saved me. I'm going to get her killed. I failed my daughter. I'm going to fail her. Every night that I wake up is because I failed my daughter. And someone that's getting older like myself, I need to get my eyes checked to see if I need glasses. I cannot relate to that. When he's saying, I'm not the guy I was 5 years ago, I would have killed that kid. And then she had to say me, that vulnerability I showed there, and that's why people have been praising Pedro this whole week, was my favorite scene so far in the season. So I'm glad that they went that route instead of what you said, oh, I'm the bigger brother, the older brother, you have to do as I say. So I love that whole scene.
Yeah, I really liked, again, that they hammered home to that, because in the game all we get is that line where he tells Ellie, like, I trust him more than I trust myself or something. That's all we get. So I did love that. And again, it's Joel's this person who's constantly complaining about having to save everyone, but he loves to save everyone. he loves being that person and being that guy. So again, I'm really loving what the show's doing with him and further fleshing out his issues.
Yeah, and then with Ellie, we see I love also, as we saw, as soon as Joel sees Tommy, and I love the way he just yelled his name and have that embrace. At that point, Ellie knows that she's been replaced, basically. Like, he found his brother, because you can see it in her eyes. What am I going to do now? And she's been asking through the whole episode, what are you going to do after this? Because she knows she doesn't have anyone. As soon as he connects with Tommy, she's like, I'm screwed. I've been replaced. What am I going to do now? Then her walls go up, right? When every time someone is asking her something, she's just biting back.
Yeah.
But slowly she starts opening up to everyone. That girl that's looking at her behind.
I want to mention, by the way, that's probably Dina, and that's a name. How would Marty McFly say? You guys aren't ready for that, but you're going to love it. Just throwing it out there.
All right. Yeah, I've seen a few tweets from people, so I have fleshing out my own ideas or how that's gonna play. But
again, there's no confirmation that's her, but
most likely.
Yeah.
All right. So the big scene, word for word, taken from the game when. Go ahead. When Joel goes to tell Ellie that he's pawning her on Tommy.
Yeah, it's they recreated the room. They're dressed very similarly, and they took out my favorite line from that dialogue in the game, but it still works. But man, just a powerful scene. They're basically fighting about their feelings about each other.
Yeah,
and I always say that they're the same person, and they basically are. They're closed off to the world except for each other, and the only way they know how to express themselves is just screaming at each other.
Yeah, it was a great scene, and I tweeted it out a few days afterwards that Pedro Pascal has been getting all the praise, and it's deserved praise because he's been killing it. Bella Ramsey deserved the same amount of praise for her portrayal of Ellie, and just that little scene, the way her voice changes when she's just pushing back. I just feel safer with you, no one else. And like everyone that I've loved or had a connection with has either died or left me except you, and now you're leaving. It's like heartbreak. And you're not my daughter, I'm not your father. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? But then Pedro Pascal has these roles down where he's like,
he's a sweetheart.
He is. I've been trying to steal the source for 30 minutes and I couldn't.
I love that neither here or in the game they show you his turning around.
Mm-hmm.
In the game, he kind of looks at her and he sees she's disappointed, but it's like very quick. The turn is very quick, and here they played it out the same way. So I like that. I love that he gives her the choice. Like,
yes,
hey, and the minute she's like, I'm giving you a choice, boom. No,
let's go. Yeah, I loved it. I expected it to happen, but I didn't expect it to happen that fast.
Okay.
But I love that he said they wasn't, I changed my mind, I'm coming. It was, you deserve the choice. And like you said, she didn't even have to think about it. Boom, let's go.
Let's go.
Poor Tommy, he's ready to go, and he said, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm staying."
Tommy's like, Maria's gonna kill me.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Maria that was gonna be on this table. When they stop, I'm like, okay, I guess Maria's here, and found out. I know when I saw Yola, interesting.
Maria, you'll see when we get to what the second game is, but Maria's a woman with an attitude, so you don't want to mess. And they skipped that bit here, but in the game, when Tommy's like, "Why are you gonna take her?" and he's like, "Oh, because I'm afraid of Maria."
Which I would too. All right, but they head out to Colorado, Boulder University or East Boulder, and hell, shit goes down. Let's say
I had people texting me like, because we get that montage of them, bonding, and
yeah,
I love how quick that switch it is when they finally open up about each other. They don't mess around. She's like leaning against him, and he's teaching her. They're talking like if they've been best friends forever. I really love how they just let their guard down and just interact with each other.
Which again, it needs to happen for the ending to work.
Yeah.
Because if they were still at odds or with those walls up, it doesn't have the same impact. And we can just jump there. He gets stabbed with a broken bat, and
but what I was saying, like people were texting me like, "This is too happy. What's gonna happen?"
It was eventually gonna happen. I've always had the fear that they're gonna be separated at some point. Every episode I've been waiting. Okay, someone's gonna be taken, and it's gonna happen. Blah. I hate this, just because anxiety. But this was different. I'm gonna say before, because I said on prior episodes how I kind of fell off from The Walking Dead because a lot of it seemed repetitive. If this was The Walking Dead, as soon as you get to this town in Colorado, they would find out that the town is not what it seems. They're cannibals, and they have some clickers in the bag that they threw people. It's like, no, it's a very peaceful place.
Thank you for saying that, because I've had people text me like, "I don't trust those people in Jackson. I don't trust Maria." I'm like, you should.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad that we did.
Yeah.
All right, but the ending. They got to the Fireflies. They're gone. I guess they went to Utah. We gotta keep pushing.
All the Fireflies are going to Utah. All of them. This is important because in the game they don't say this, and things that happen later, this makes a little more sense.
All right, Utah. I almost went to Utah this past November for a work conference, and then they canceled it, and it was virtual. So I'm not a fan of virtual conference, but
no, it's boring. Yeah. Never been to Utah, but I love that the first thing that Ellie says is, "If you leave me, I'm booped."
Yeah. And then again, as someone that hasn't played the game, when Joel falls off that horse just bleeding, it's not like there's a hospital nearby or someone to help him. I don't know. He could die. Is it too early for him to die? I want to say yes. Don't say anything.
I can't remember what happens. I'll say this next episode is going to be interesting, but this is one of my favorite parts of the story. What's going to happen now?
Again, and I don't know what's happening. I love every episode so far, and I was like, oh, as soon as I see the preview for the next episode, I'll know. But I love that next episode is then a flashback to, I'm guessing, how Ellie got beat the first time. So I love that we're still not getting that reveal.
I'll say this, it's interesting because we got that story a couple, I don't know if it was like a year after the game came out, they released like this additional chapter, and it takes place right at this point, but we played it later, so it's interesting they're shoving it here now because it's gonna have to make all of you wait to know what happens.
All right, so again, a great episode. I love everything that we've seen from this series. That we keep calling it, everyone keeps calling it a zombie show, but like you said, it's not a zombie show. Zombies. And there were 0 zombies, and it's probably the best episode so far, at least for myself.
I love this episode. I was not expecting it to. I was not expecting this part to be my favorite episode, but so far it's been.
All right, with that, we bring an end to our talk on The Last of Us and a world between fandoms. And also, we'll bring an end to our show until next week. The Mandalorian Season 3 comes back. We'll have a lot to talk about it, along with The Bad Batch. And I'm sure more news about Star Wars Celebration as we get closer. But as we start saying our goodbyes, thank you to Dr. Matt Studio for being here, Roberto, Michael from the 2med2 Network, and Dale, and of course, Mo and Brennan. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Otis, right there in your name, but where can people find you?
You can find me over at Twitter and Instagram and Hive, apparently, at EP Star Wars, whatever it says down there.
Yeah. Hive's still around. I still go and check it once in a while. I forget to promote the show there, but we're there also. Thanks for joining us at Radio Rebel Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Radio Rebellion Podcast at .com, whatever you can find our website. There's WordPress.com because I have the free version. But you'll find there our longer reviews of all the books. And also you can find our episodes there also if you miss anything. Well, thanks for joining us today. We'll be back next week, like I mentioned, talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, and everything else. So thanks for joining us. Another great Star Wars Saturday. Stay safe, be safe, and may the Force be with you.